Right, but if the Red Hand wanted them, wouldn't that mean they kind of think getting the cards out of our hands would make the world end faster? Isn't that enough proof to say that they might be able to stop it?
No, that's not enough proof. What people believe isn't proof. And he's just going to pause for a moment and then go, what is proof is direct experience. Now, we can't honestly trust the intentions of people like the Red Hand, considering the fact they could be delusional, and those delusions could simply be creating reality, I suppose, at this point we have to consider.
Carl,
But it does,
like, all right. Yeah.
but it does stand to reason that two sources equate the cards to the end of the world, and that's enough to base some conjectures on. Now, from personal experience, I know that the cards affect mythology in a interesting way, and I didn't even experience a full-powered version of it. You see, some of you haven't been privy to this yet, though I did say I intended to reveal it the next time we had the opportunity, and this is such a good one, is that when I was doing some personal research, I was able to reconstruct an almost working version of the Hanged Man card Shin gave me. It proved very useful in connecting to the mythological and archetypal roots of a few demons. And it felt unnerving, the amount of power that I wasn't even seeing in it. It radically changed the perspective I had. If possible, I might have the capability of reconstructing the card Shin gave each of you as well. Though that might have just been a lucky break due to circumstances.
Well, a lucky break's a lot of what we need to work off sometimes.
Right. So if you're willing to trust me saying I had a first-hand experience of it, well, the cards definitely have an effect on the world and domains. Which means they might affect the rifts. And if the rifts can affect the real world, he just kind of looks at Shizuka for a second before continuing, then the cards could affect the real world through them, even if they couldn't normally. But in that case, we need to know that the cards do have an effect on rifts.
Is that a roll incoming, or is that just her Shizuka going doodle-doo-doo?
That's her going doodle-doo-doo-doo.
Well, I suppose without further knowledge, I suppose the best we can assume is that maybe the cards themselves are kind of like riffs.
Maybe.
Gar looks lost.
You'll just be like, well, from what the little amount of information we got, correct me if I'm wrong, Shizuka, but the rifts can become reality, right? If they gain enough power? You at least told us that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if what Shin is saying is true, and the cards can affect reality through people's wishes and desires, then they do have something in common.
I guess they do.
Yeah.
Anyways, the thing I advised everyone is that for the remainder of this winter vacation, we don't, even if, and I'm sure if you talk to him, he'll ask you to do it as quickly as possible, even if Shin does that, we shouldn't make a move until we're back in school. But we should try to make any effort we can to identify where they are.
Right. So we probably should wait till we're back to our day-to-day lives and can actually help instead of running around on holiday and doing something without everyone being around.
Yes.
That sounds fair.
That's what I advised, at least. I don't think that this is a situation we want to act recklessly in.
Definitely not. Like Reiko says, with this smile, but like very sternly. And then like she's really thinking hard about something. She should like she has like this thinking face.
Carl smiled politely at her. Something on your mind, Reiko?
And then I look at Rio. Okay, as you prove once to me once more that you are the guy that knows things and can explain them to me. But sometimes it goes tough. So, well, I trust you with that. So, I want to trust you with one more thing. And this is my leap of faith. Can I trust you and through you, like the entire group, that when I reveal the identity of this person, you just won't randomly attack him and like take his card by force?
We haven't randomly attacked Naomi, and I know she has a card.
Reiko, do you really think we do that? Just randomly?
And then like I throw my hands in the air. Well, we are talking about the end of the world. I'm kinda not sure what is normal and usual and what is not anymore.
You make
I mean,
sound like...
unless you're gonna send like a calling card to somebody or something, isn't it kind of random from their perspective?
We're not highwaymen. We're not jumping out and beating them up. We confront them. No. Why wouldn't we confront them? There's a chance they might listen to us.
Besides, I'd say at this stage of the game, until we know actually how to pull the cards out of them, any action like that could very well just prove meaningless.
Do you have to call it a game? It sounds so weird when you say that.
Jackal, well, it's a weird life, and I don't want to even think about the question like what happens when they don't want to, they listen to arguments. Anyways, that was a good argument. Ryu, you always have them, that's what I like. Well, about your character, something, I like tilt her head. Well, that person I'm talking about is Fumagidio. He has the Justice card. He showed me the card.
Huh.
Yeah, but
And another one at our school.
I mean, just as somebody who's, not you guys, don't you kind of want to do this apart from just listening to your Gotakun?
I'm not sure what she's asking right now.
If it was my card you're going to take, eventually, I'd kind of want it to be because you actually believe in it, not just because you want to do what a Gotakun wants to do.
Well, Shizu-chan, the part of the reason this meeting is happening is because I wanted to know more about the cards, and then she's gonna, I don't know, I had this strange idea of trying to bridge the idea of cards to Katsumi, and then I imagine like everyone else has this look on their faces, and then like massaging their temples.
Yeah, this.
You want to talk to Katsumi about this?
I think it was something that talk with Shin gave me the idea that because her card is not from him or something, that it doesn't work properly, and that what screws with her power, something like that. My mind goes in a strange ways, a nervous chuckle.
Alright, cool. Rio looks fine. You'll be like, that's definitely not a good idea. I should tell you what Shin told me. He said that out of all of the ones he knew, he'll just kind of pause. Right, I regret to tell you this, but I already knew that Katsumi had a card. Shin told me, and he said that... Well, he suggested, why don't we just take hers, considering she's the weakest bearer? And I didn't think very well of that suggestion.
Yeah, like Reiko usually looks very positive, but when she hears that, there's this like nostril flare, like Like, she looks for a moment visibly angry, like she's not even hiding it. And then, well, I'm really glad that is the way you think about it, Rio. I'm somewhat relieved to hear that.
That's not surprising.
Look,
Go ahead.
about the cards. I don't really know. Shin's told us it's the only way we can really stop this.
Right.
And what else are we supposed to think at this point, Shizuka?
Well, Shizuka is right about something. You shouldn't just blindly follow me. I made my decision that I wanted to end the world, and I told you, Akira, and you, Ryu, that I was committed to doing that, even if it means making some tough calls. I've made my choice, and I know that you two did as well when we were there. But Reiko's very new to this. He looks at Kaharu. Then he stops, and then he goes, and Dark-kun isn't even here to affirm himself.
It's a lot to really commit to, Koharth just says. It's not that I don't trust Shin, but it's a lot to just say.
It is a lot to take in at once. And the truth of the matter is, even if you say you are committed, like I have, until you actually have the chance, you don't truly know if you really are or not. Your commitment can just be a comforting lie you're telling yourself.
Yeah, and Shizu-chan, well, it's not like I'm asking Ryo-kun blindly, but, you know, there's not too many sources of information about these cards. Like, either I ask Ryo, you guys, or Shin, who else knows about it. How am I supposed to know things? To make an opinion.
And the only
If
way
you
to
don't
really...
want,
Oh,
if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to do it.
But we don't know if this is, you know, not the only way to stop things from happening.
It's the only way.
Well,
Well,
okay.
So that throws out that if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Well, what's so wrong about the end anyway?
The world ending.
It's gonna end someday.
Yeah, but I don't want it to end in a year.
I'm sure people are gonna think that even if you do manage to do it somehow, there's gonna be people, I don't know how many years in the future, that will feel the same way. And then eventually they won't be able to do anything about it. It's not like it's never gonna come up again. It'll come up again someday.
And what's the point of getting up every morning? By that logic. If everything's just going to be over, we wouldn't be living our lives then. But we are.
Even if it's something that repeats, we have to... Even if it's going to be something that repeats itself, all we can do is play our part and set a good example. That's what being responsible for your own actions means.
Are you saying it's your responsibility then to stop it? Because you have the ability to do so?
Of course, if you have the ability to do something, it's your responsibility to make a choice on how to handle that.
I mean, if with that logic, wouldn't it be the responsibility of those who have cards to see it through to the end? If you have the ability to bring about it.
I'm willing
Who the fuck would want the end of the world to happen, so no. Generally. I'd like to imagine people don't just want to, you know, go to bed forever and never see anything. So no, I don't think it would be. And it's not a responsibility just because we can do it. It's a responsibility because we want to live our lives. If we can't do that, if the world ends, we can't do that, of course we're going to want to stop it. Why is that even a question?
And she'll just quietly say it's because people want to do things that it's happening.
Whatever.
What do you mean?
It's nothing.
Cool.
Come on, Shizu-chan.
No, it's just an endless debate. Nobody's right in it.
One side's right. Anyway, are we done here? We've covered this. No more doing this till we're back together at school, so we're basically done here. And Kir's just going to push out her chair. I'm going to go back home.
It's mostly done, yes. I've revealed to you all the information I have about the cards. If any of you want to try to get lucky with your own to experience what the power in them might be, I'm open to help.
Right, I'll consider that another time. I'm tired.
I will consider that later, but, well, it's only fair if I reveal more. You know, speaking about commitment, well, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think I can be commit, because, well, Giryu-kun said that he will defend his card if somebody wants to take it away and if he don't convince them. And sorry, but I'm not sure if I can commit to, you know, defeating, whatever it might mean, someone that... And then I say as I stand up, someone that I have feelings for. And then, I guess that's my bit of information.
Right. Well, at least we settled a few things. We know who a few more people are who have them. You're just kind of size.
And we do have access to find out possibly all of them.
I suppose we do.
Speaking of which, any more? Did you get anything out of Jeffrey about that other wheel?
Oh, out of him about it. Well, it's set up exactly how it is. And Jeffrey, I suppose, has his freedom to keep it however he wants. If he has the power to set things up, and we don't have the power to contest that, there's not really much we can do.
Right.
Anyways, yeah, I just like interact one of her guys and I'm like, and it's slightly strange, but not really. Well, nevertheless, I thank you for coming here and sharing that information with me. It's always good to know more.
Right. Look, Reiko, I said I was committed to making a few hard choices if it meant the end of the world doesn't come, but that doesn't mean that I don't want things to work out for the best for as many people as possible. If you can get anything else out of Giryu-san, anything else about how you can get the card, anything about avoiding a conflict, or what it would take him personally to give it up, then that would be helpful. I don't really want to crush anyone's hopes. He just kind of looks down.
Neither do I. But, like, smile, like, still strange smile, but I appreciate your sentiment and honest words, Rio.
Right. Right, well, I suppose that's everything done here. Well,
Yes. I will see you guys
I'll
later.
stay behind to turn off the power and lock the place up.
Okay.
I figured you'd want to, you pulled out the tarot deck. Could always at least mark down those that we know.
I suppose. Right. That seems like a good idea. At least keep track of it. Okay. Oh, Rio would go over that.
We'll pull a marker and he'll write names on the back of the tarots that they know for sure.
Right. Okay.
Suzuki will just kind of sit there staring at her part of the table.
Okay.
So tell me, Shizuka, what aren't you telling us?
What do you mean?
I mean, there's more information that you seem to have, but you're hesitant to inform us of.
Doesn't everybody have information about themselves that nobody else knows?
Yes, but you seem to be more, I don't know, seem to have, much like Shin, seem to be more knowledgeable about what's going up with this end than we seem to know.
If it appears that way, then it appears that way. It's not like something I looked into myself. It just happens.
Right.
Feel this kind of scratch in hand.
So, your take on all of this, then?
My take is that whether you do so or not, it will be the end of my world. Then she'll just kind of get up and leave.
This is really turning out... I don't know if I have a word for it, don't you think, Rio?
Well, that was a bit of a pointed question. And assuming she does have a card, wait, no. I wouldn't say that. She said if she had a card, and he'd be like, she wasn't selected by Shin, so perhaps she, knowing about the risks, empathizes with those people who have dreams. Anyways, I did say what would happen if someone thought their dream was worth the end of the world. I doubt there'll be any convincing her. But at least she didn't say she wanted to leave us alone on it. That's more than I could hope for. We should at least be a bit more sensitive about that with her in the future.
Yes, probably right.
Anyways, I'm just going to, he gets up, make some tea before I leave, and I'll have to ask you to vacate the premises once I'm done. I do need to lock up after all.
Right, not a problem. Though I do have a question since you talked to Shin quite a bit.
Right, what's that?
Why do you think he chose us?
No idea. I haven't asked him why he chose us. There was what Akira mentioned at the party, where she said it was something about our dreams not being something or other.
Right. Dreams not being strong enough, but that would seem to be everybody as opposed to those that got the tarot.
Well, it's all well and good to think maybe there was something special about us, but at the end of the day, it might simply have been Shin had to make a choice.
Right.
Regardless, that choice does put us in a special position now, and we should act accordingly.
Got it. Well, I guess then this is my cue to go.
Right. Goodbye, Ryu.
Goodbye.
So what cards did Ryu actually mark down with names?
Well, let's see. The ones that we know are the Moon, the Hermit.
Okay.
The
Reiko said
Strength.
Giryu was.
Yeah,
Reiko said
Giryu.
Giryu was justice. I think everyone who's talked to Shin personally knows he has the devil.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah.
Rio could have said Jeffrey had the card. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Jeffrey did say what his card was.
Probably would have.
Probably would write that down once we get. We get to thinking about this more logically.
I'll be a bit surprised. This sweet little boy has a card. Oh no.
Yeah.
So So moon, sun, strength, justice.
Yeah, I don't think we know that Himiko is the sun.
Ryu's at least thinking about that. He might not have fully written on the card, but considering she came up for the sun on the wheel.
Oh,
You don't know that. You just said that she's an avatar of Tamamo no Mai.
Yeah, we don't know if that was.
Okay.
Well, it landed on sun. It said that the sun is an avatar, so yeah, it didn't really say it was Himiko.
Yeah, doesn't identify who that is.
Maybe we could bet our names on the wheel.
Yeah, then.
That would be stupid.
Be really stupid.
Yeah. You could at least write down Tomomo on the sun card, I guess.
Anyway, let's roll on then. Guess we're done with that day.
Yeah.
Since we have to do this. Move the clock, Jeff.
It's fucking made it.
TikTok.
Listen, you say we have to end the scene, so we did. The day's over. Move to the next one.
Yes.
We're directing you, just like you asked.
You asked for this at the start of the session.
Hurry up and respond.
Monday. Stop bullying!
Stop bullying!
Stop.
No. It's okay. No bully, no provoke. If it's not what you want, I'll stop.
I won't. I'm gonna teach you the law of consent.
So, Monday.
Yes.
There's nothing down for Ryu.
Yeah, I think we just figured out that most of the end for Ryu is just going to be just randoms.
Just randoms. There's nobody he wants to hang out with?
Considering the information he just got from his family, he's not really in the mood for hanging out.
Right.
I mean... You can expound upon that. Is it because you don't want to take shit?
It's kind of very much an existential crisis, so a lot of what he's going to be doing is basically just kind of hanging around town trying to figure out what exactly all of this means for him, how exactly that correlates with his past and all of that.
I don't know how that's going to line up with just walking about town, but I can roll something.
Yeah, basically it's the idea that he's going to places that he knew back when he was the good student and trying, like I said, and basically, you know, like how they do those scenes where the guy gets the big piece of information and he goes back to places and just sits there and tries to ponder.
Alright, so I guess I can roll for the mood of the place. I'll give it a minus considering your state of mind.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright. So when you're walking about, I gotta change the music. Something more subtle. Okay. Okay. Alright, so as you're walking about town, you kind of feel like, well, not feel. I guess everything looks monotonous and grey. Like things have like a harsh sound to them. Like people talking to each other casually on the street. Kind of sounds like they're like, you know, you can have like a whisper that sounds really shrill.
Mm-hmm.
It's not loud per se, but it's just irritating. The same with the car noises and the traffic lights and stuff like that. And you kind of feel that that it's like people are just there because they won the birth lottery. You know, they don't have to deal with any of this persona business. They don't have to deal with the whole, you know, the whole not being able to exist because somebody believes you can't exist. It feels like people are just taking what they have for granted and they don't even know that they're doing so. It's that kind of perverse feeling where you wish, well, somebody would wish that if they knew they wouldn't be like this, there'd be something happening, but nothing's happening. And the fact that everything appears to happen around you and by the people associated with you through Shin, it just feels like bullshit. Like, it's a bit unfair. Like, why? Why can't one of these guys do it? You know?
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's a pretty good description of how Ryu would feel.
You'll sit down on a bench and Kumasaka will sit down with you and he'll be like, wow, this is depressing.
You knew what you were getting into when you made the contract.
Right. So, how long is this gonna last for? I was kind of hoping to ride on the coattails of a new spur and motivation from, you know, wanting to prove the elephant guy wrong. So maybe I'll have to get my thumb out.
Yeah, that's when I had so much less information.
You saying you want to be ignorant?